Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Pull Chapter 82, and this one is titled Intertwined. As the title suggests, there is an adult scene in this chapter, so I'll be chopping it out, so I will fade it out and fade it back in again when it is a more appropriate setting. Once paid, you hopped out, and so did Aizawa. As he got out, he said something to the taxi driver, and the car slowly pulled away, leaving you both standing there on the side of the road. "You didn't need to pay for the taxi," you said to him. "I could have paid. And you didn't even keep him to get home." "I can walk," Aizawa said. "Oh," you replied, turning to your gate, then turning back. I don't want you to take this in anyway, but do you want to come up for a cup of coffee?" He paused and then nodded. "That would be nice." You beamed from ear to ear and pushed the gate open to head inside. Once in the apartment, you took your shoes off and walked to the kitchen while Aizawa took his jacket off and hung it on the coat rack. "Decaf?" you called out. "You're not working tonight, are you?" "Decaf is fine, and no, not working tonight," he replied as he walked into the kitchen, rolling his sleeves up. You looked at him, then looked away to compose yourself. He was just so hot. "Would you like me to help with anything?" he asked, his voice sounding rather appealing as you reached for the coffee jar. "No, it's fine, I have it all under control," you replied as you turned back to the mugs. Aizawa had one hand on the bench next to the mugs, and you stepped over to fill them up, your shoulder pressing into his chest. Focusing on filling the mugs as best you could, you topped them up and then glanced at him. "You always look beautiful, but tonight was an exception," he stated calmly, his bloodshot eyes and chiseled jawline giving your Badusi heart palpitations. There was an immediate war inside you, your simp side screaming and dropping its panties, and your boss bitch side looking him up and down and crossing its arms. Aizawa, thank you, but I'm so conflicted right now. You told me..." I know what I said. It's been hard for me too. Yin, At that moment, simp side took over you, and you put the hot jug down and leaned up and kissed his lips quickly. You were hoping that little kiss would get it all out of your system, but no, all it did was fuel the tension that was radiating from the two of you, and he reached out and wrapped his arms around you, pulling your body against his before leaning in to initiate another kiss. Coffee now forgotten, you pushed him back out of the kitchen and into the hall, reaching for his buttoned shirt and fumbling madly with the small discs as one by one they popped through the holes and revealed his perfect torso. "Yin," he whispered as you pushed his shirt off his thick shoulders and let it fall to the floor. "Please," you whispered in an airy voice. "I've missed your body on mine." How could he resist your sweet voice, your soft lips, the warm tongue toying with his? He couldn't. "Do you need a shower?" you asked him. "I'll shower at home," he said as he got off the bed. Your heart sank a little. "Are you staying here for the night?" you asked him. "I think I should go," he replied. Are we okay?" you asked him. "It's not a good time to answer that question," he replied softly. "I think I've done the wrong thing." "I don't see anything wrong with it," you replied with a lump in your throat as you sat up. "I've already hurt you once, Yin. I can't keep doing this. I'm sorry. I let my guard down and I slipped." "What do you mean hurt me? When? What, don't you think this is hurting me?" you asked in a very hurt tone. Aizawa couldn't look at you. He knew he had very much screwed up. "I'm sorry," he said again, picking up his boxes and putting them on. "Why can't we just talk about this?" you asked, following him out into the hall with zero clothes on, as he went to retrieve the rest of his outfit that had been discarded down the hallway. This isn't about you. It doesn't concern you. This is about me," he replied darkly, still not looking at you. "It does concern me. You keep toying with me like this, and it hurts. I'm in love with you, but you just keep playing with my feelings like..." "Do you not think this is hard for me as well?" he said, showing the first signs of real emotion about the situation. "Then why are we doing this? Why is it so hot and cold? Why do you keep holding me on the line?" Because I have strong feelings for you, but my desire to make you happy is stronger than my personal desires," he replied in a defeated tone. "I don't understand," you said, emotions finally boiling over in the form of tears. "What are you talking about?" "Like I said, this is about me," he replied. "I'm going now." You tried to get him to explain himself, but he was tight-lipped and didn't speak another word to you as he gathered his things and left, leaving you to cry naked and ashamed on the hallway floor. That was the second weekend that you don't remember anything about. It was a good thing that no one else could see how hard you had hit rock bottom as you lay wasting away in the bed those next 2 days. You didn't want to go back to UA anymore. Everything had been ruined. Your dream job had now become a painful experience and you wondered if you should just leave. You know what? I can't do this anymore. I need to leave UA, you thought, staring miserably at your bedroom wall. Sunday night you rang your dear granny. "Hello, my love," she greeted brightly. "How did the announcement go? Are you and your teacher boss an official couple now? When are you bringing him over to meet your gran?" She had meant all of her questions so innocently, so you couldn't be mad, but that stung. In a perfect world, that's how it was supposed to be, and for a split second you allowed yourself to live your parallel life, imagining giving her the reply of how you were now dating and would be bringing him over next weekend to see her. That moment passed in the blink of an eye, and you had to swallow hard before speaking. Granny, I don't think I'm in the right headspace to go into much detail, but the teacher boss and I are no longer seeing each other and I want to leave UA. You had started your sentence so strong, but the more you spoke, the more your voice broke and left you sobbing on the end. Poor Grams was just too far away to be of any comfort, and she fretted on the other end of the line with a bunch of ohs and honey and a lot of "Sweetheart, could you come over tomorrow? Oh, love, don't cry. I'm so sorry to hear that. I really want to give you a hug. Curse this distance," she rambled on. "I'm going to write my letter of resignation tonight. I'll hand it in, then come to your place," you sobbed to her. "I miss you, Granny," you wailed. "Oh, sugar, there. You've made the right decision," she cooed softly. "You'll be much better off away from that school." You sniffed and nodded, wiping heavily bagged eyes. "I'm only a call away if you need me," she replied, "but please come and see me." "I will," you replied with post-cry breathing. "I'm going to go and write that letter now, Grams. I'll call you tomorrow." "Okay, love, okay," she replied in a worried voice. "Please do call me if you need me." "I will. I love you," you said, wiping more tears. She made the kissing sound and then you both hung up. With more tears falling down your cheeks, you wrote the resignation letter, thanking Nezu for the opportunity to have worked there at UA, but for personal reasons you would be moving on. Happy with your notice, you put it on a USB to take to school the next day and print it out. Aizawa felt terrible. He had wanted to patch things up with you and talk about his fears, but being the man he was, it was easier for him to just run and zip himself up in a sleeping bag than face his past and the emotions attached to it. With a heavy heart he had gone to sleep and slept the weekend away, wondering how you would be on Monday morning. Oh dear, that was a heavy chapter. My eyes were watering up actually as I was doing the sad parts. That's how emotionally I am attached to this story. Stay tuned for chapter 83 coming tomorrow.